Alright, boys and girls, today we're working on a Chevrolet Cruze, and this one has the 1.4 liter turbo engine into it, and for the most part this has been a pretty good little car. This would be my mother-in-law's car, so she's had it now a few years, but last going off we've been having a lot of overheating trouble. Car leaking Prestone, such and so forth. So we're going to show you the really common issues with these Ecotechs when you get high miles onto them. It's kind of stupid why these parts are made of plastic and not made out of, you know, metal or stainless or brass or something that would actually last. So the first thing I replaced, and I've already done it, is if you look here, this whole unit, this, it's really hard to see with the charge pipe there on the intake, but basically there's a coolant flange that bolts in the side of this engine here, and it is all made out of plastic. Can't even really show it to you, but it's right here on the side of the block. That's one of the bolts for it. And what happens is the old plastic just literally rots, and then you start having a leak. And over here you'll see they've got the thermostat is made out of the exact same idiotic stupid material, and I just put this one on last week. The car had no leak. She's been driving it a bit, and I see that the Prestone's down a little bit. So now that she's just dropped the car off, you sit here and watch. See it dripping? Drip, drip. So local Napa wanted $260 for that little plastic thermostat. Unbelievable. Called the dealership. They wanted a pile of money for it. I said, there's no way I am wasting $200, almost $300 on this. Stupid. So good old Amazon, $79.99 to my door for an AC Delco genuine GM part. So between this piece, the other piece that we already replaced on the other side of the block, and this here coolant line is really prone to failure and known to mess up. This was actually the first thing that happened to the car, was this hose. So we replaced this with a new OEM one. We replaced, again, that side piece. And now we're gonna get into this thermostat here, which looks to be pretty easy. 3 bolts. And then we've got a stupid squeeze hose. Where is it here? It's really hard to find it here in the camera, but right there. So we gotta get that off. Prestone's gonna go everywhere. It's gonna be a mess, but we are gonna get her done. I think I'll probably start with taking this charge intake pipe off, get that out of my way, and we'll show you this plastic failure that happens in these cars. Well, here's what the old thermostat looks like. It literally blew right apart. So if you don't have an E-Torx for these screws, you can use just the plain 8mm. I had to use a wrench to get out the lower ones. I took the main coolant pipe off first, and I waited till I unbolted it, and then I slipped this one off. So this was the last step. But it was leaking, and as you can see, it was not in good shape. There's probably a bunch of fractures in it somewhere that was causing it to leak. That, or it's just really warped from the heating over time. So the next thing we're gonna do is get that area cleaned up, set the new one in place, and we're done. All right, boys and girls, the new part's installed. It's all back together. We refilled the system. ran the car for a bit so it pushed all the air out. Temperature gauge is showing good. If you want to save yourself a little headache on this job, get rid of the squeeze clamp on that hose and put yourself on a normal hose clamp, because there's nothing I hate worse than these things in a tough spot trying to get a wrench in your hand down to try to put the hose on. So for the cost of $1, that'll make your life a lot easier when you do the job. But pretty straightforward and easy to do. But again, these cars are famously known for plastic stuff failing, cracking, warping. As you can see, this thing is all out of shape here. It's not even round anymore. So if you own a Chevy Cruze and you're having leaks, or you're wondering where your press stone's going, or if your car is overheating, look at those two pieces of plastic bolted to your engine and you'll find your problem.